Did you feel that shift in the wrestling world? Because something massive just happened that has every WWE fan across the United States buzzing like wildfire. And if you blinked, you missed it. Seth Rollins, the architect, the visionary, the man who redefined modern wrestling, has stirred up something so seismic in the WWE universe that fans, media, and insiders are still scrambling to catch up with the full picture. This wasn't just a tweet or an appearance, it was an unexpected turn of events that left audiences from New York to California speechless, and we're about to break it all down for you. From the moment Rollins walked through the curtain, there was an undeniable tension in the air, and what followed has now become one of the most talked about developments in WWE this year. Whether you're a longtime fan of The Shield or someone who's only recently started tuning in, what happened with Seth Rollins just rewrote a major part of WWE's ongoing storyline, and it's shaking the foundations of what fans thought they knew. Just imagine this, a packed arena, lights dimmed, the crowd holding their breath, and out comes Rollins, not just walking, but storming with a purpose, every step more intense than the last. He wasn't there to entertain. He wasn't there to pose. He was there with a message, and it wasn't scripted. It was real, raw, and powerful. Rumors started flying backstage about a possible injury, a power struggle, even a contract shift. But the reality is even more dramatic. Sources close to the production team say that Rollins had been building frustration for months, and this public outburst was the culmination of decisions made behind closed doors, decisions that ignored the voice of one of WWE's most loyal and bankable stars. And the fans? They responded in full force. Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram exploded with theories, breakdowns, fan art, and even live reactions from those who were lucky enough to be in the crowd that night. If you weren't part of that moment, you missed one of the most electric, spine-chilling fan responses in recent WWE history. But the real kicker. Rollins didn't just walk away after the segment. He stayed in the ring, staring down the hard cam with a look that said, "This isn't over." And he was right. Because within hours, WWE's official account began scrubbing footage, editing out certain lines from the promo, and disabling comments on multiple social media platforms. What were they trying to hide? What was said that they don't want the world to know? Some say it's a storyline swerve. Others believe it's the beginning of a real-life revolt within the roster. The truth may lie somewhere in the middle, but either way, it's captivating. And then came the response from fellow superstars. Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and even Rhea Ripley dropped cryptic messages, emojis, and one-word tweets that sent the wrestling community into decoding overdrive. Suddenly, everyone's asking, is this a real conflict or the most brilliantly executed storyline since the CM Punk pipe bomb? And speaking of Punk, the comparisons are inevitable. Fans are calling this Seth's moment, his uncensored breakout that redefines what it means to be a top-tier wrestler in 2025. Let's rewind a bit to see how we got here. Over the past year, Rollins has carried the brand with charisma, grit, and an unmatched work ethic, often stepping up when others were injured or unavailable. Despite this, internal reports suggest he was passed over for main event opportunities, denied creative control, and increasingly isolated from the decision-making table. That kind of pressure builds up, and when you give a man like Seth Rollins a live mic and a hungry audience, the result is bound to explode. And explode it did. As of this morning, #Rollins Unchained and #WWE Breaking Point are trending across the country, with over 8 million mentions in less than 24 hours. News outlets are now picking up the story, and even non-WWE fans are starting to ask, who is this guy and what did he do? That's the power of an unfiltered moment in sports entertainment. It transcends the ring. And let's not ignore the symbolic detail that fans are dissecting the most: his gear. Instead of his usual flashy ring attire, Rollins wore a dark, near-military-style outfit, signaling rebellion, revolution, and seriousness. Was this intentional? Absolutely. Seth is one of the most meticulous performers in the industry, and nothing he does is accidental. Even the song he chose to walk out to, a stripped-down remix of his iconic theme, sent a message: this is a new chapter. So what now? Well, here's what's being whispered backstage. Multiple sources confirm that Triple H is directly involved in ongoing talks with Rollins, trying to salvage what some are calling a near walkout. Others believe this is all part of a genius rebranding angle that will place Rollins at the center of a WWE versus Authority-style Civil War storyline. Either way, fans are invested, and deeply. They're not just watching, they're choosing sides, creating polls, launching hashtags, and booking fantasy matches that may now become reality. But if you're thinking this ends with just one promo, think again. Rollins is reportedly scheduled for an unsanctioned appearance at an upcoming premium live event, an appearance that WWE hasn't promoted, but fans know it's coming. The build-up is already reaching fever pitch. Wrestling forums are exploding with countdown clocks, speculation threads, and fan theories about how this could reshape WrestleMania's entire main event structure. And then there's the merchandise. Within hours of the promo airing, custom t-shirts with phrases like "Let me speak" and "Not your puppet" began popping up online. Independent creators, longtime fans, and even former WWE insiders are jumping into the frenzy, adding layers to what is quickly becoming a cultural moment in wrestling, not just a story. For newer fans, this might feel like a whirlwind. But for those who've followed Seth since NXT, The Shield, and his early heel turns, this feels like a long overdue eruption. It's personal, it's emotional, and it's impossible to ignore. What comes next could change WWE's storytelling forever, or blow open cracks that the company's been trying to seal for years. Whether you believe this is real or scripted doesn't matter, because you're still watching, still reacting, still completely hooked. And that, more than anything, proves that Seth Rollins just did something unforgettable. This wasn't just a segment, it was a statement, a revolution, and a moment that fans will point back to for years. If you missed it, you missed history in the making. And if you're just catching up now, buckle up, because this ride with Rollins is only just getting started.